Hi everyone, this is Brendan from the China Import Formula. Today's tip is what currency should I use when dealing with a Chinese factory? Okay, so we all live in different countries around the world. The people in America will obviously have the US dollar. If you're over in England, you have the pound, and in Australia you have the Australian dollar. And for our viewers in different countries, you have your own local currency. But in China, they have one local currency, and that is the Chinese yuan, also known as the renminbi, or on the actual note it will say RMB. And a lot of people ask me, they say, Brendan, should I use our local currency or should I use the local Chinese currency? Well, the answer is it depends. And it depends on what product you're producing. I recommend, where possible, you pay things in local Chinese currency. And the reason is they will not charge you a commission. Every time you go to a new country and you exchange currency at the airport, rather, what you find is they'll take a commission. And when you're dealing with a Chinese factory who are paying their workers, not in US dollars, but in RMB, right, and that's their costs, you're going to find that they are going to add a buffer or a commission, right, and that's the fact of it. And here's the thing. If you're paying in US dollars, and the factory's local costs are actually in RMB, or in Australian dollars in RMB, or the British pound and the currencies in the local factory's costs are in RMB, then you might find that there will be a problem if your local currency changes relative to the RMB. Because if it becomes more expensive for the factory because all of a sudden they're getting less local currency for your currency, then they're going to find that they don't make much profit, and you're going to be in trouble. Because the first thing that was going to go is the quality of the product. And here's the other problem. If they actually find that it's gone the other way and the RMB has actually appreciated, then they're going to pocket the extra difference. And they're not going to pass on that saving to you. Trust me. So in the alternative, though, it might be that the local product that they're producing has components which are in US dollars. So say, for example, there's a commodity involved. So say it's a steel pot. Well, steel pot has Chinese labor. It needs people to make it. But what's the raw ingredient in a steel pot? Steel. Okay? Steel is based on the US dollar, and those commodity prices fluctuate. So in this situation, I wouldn't use the RMB exclusively. I wouldn't use the US dollar exclusively. I would use both. You use a combination, and you have a contract with the factory that has a formula. And the formula is labor in RMB plus raw material in US dollars, right, equals cost of product. Right? And you let the factory work on a margin because they've obviously got to make their product. And here's what happens. If the commodity price of the US dollar goes up or down, the factory isn't out of pocket. The factory has a stable relationship with you and a stable profit relationship which they can leverage off.